What's up, spectators? Welcome back to the episode of Dream Daddy. Last time we went and met with Robert. Goodness. So today we're going to go ahead and speak to Damien. Probably the person we've spoken the least amount to. How do you do? I've finally decided to join this information superhighway. Oh, I hate it when people say that. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I'll try my best to understand. I love long strolls through graveyards and spending time with my son. On a Friday night, he's listening to true crime podcasts while I taxidermy my newest specimens. If you had one thing to take with you onto a desert island, what would it be? A coffin? What are your turn-ons? Pronouncing bosom correctly. What did you want to be when you grew up? A bat? Damien seemed really interesting. A little odd, but interesting. I think I should hang out with him to get to know him a little better. I navigate to Damien's dadbook page and type out a message. Hey dude, you seem cool. We should hang out sometime. I sit there for a minute before I see Damien's typing. But then he keeps typing. And typing. Until I receive a novella. Is this guy writing a novel? I just made that joke, haha. I leave the computer to make some coffee. And he's still typing. I sip my coffee, and the computer finally dings. Hey, how about you just live your life, man? I must confess my excitement to be receiving your kind letter for, as you see, I do find myself available to enjoy your company. I must ask for your forgiveness, however, as I believe our meeting did not paint me in as gentlemanly manner as I would have liked. There's more. I would be highly flattered to enjoy your companionship in my residence for an afternoon tea and a stroll around my garden, should it please you. Till then, adieu! Yours humbled, D. Bloodmarch. I stare at the screen and reread the letter several more times. Amanda! Can you help me with something?
Aww.
For the last time, I'm not pooping your pimples. Oh, I know what it said. It was totally pooping your pimples. Can you interpret this for me? I turn the computer to Amanda and she squints at Damien's message. I just don't understand NetSpeak. Like, is this how you kids communicate with each other now? Oh, totally. This is a hot new thing. See, Dad? Kids got over saying LOL and LMAO or whatever and decided what they needed to do was bring it back to the 1800s. So what do I do? 1800s. People were saying fourscore and shit, man. Can't understand people from the 1800s. Where's your pen and quill? What? Did you forget to unpack the pen and quill? Dad, how will we address the nobleman in regards to your upcoming debutante ball? Okay, now I know you're messing with me. Father, without a proper chaperone, you'll never end up with a suitor worthy of our land. Or our dowry. Or... So you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time, and now you're reciting things you know about it back to me, aren't you? Like the first 5 pages, and then I read a review of the movie. Still got a B, though. So, what do I say to Damien? I got this. Amanda reaches over me and types on the keyboard. Sure thing, dude. Regards. Karate. I thought it said karat. Amanda hits send and smiles at me. Well, I suppose that's that. I make the short walk over to Damien's house. Well, I guess you can't really call it a house. It's more of a manor, estate. The Gothic architecture looms above the other homes in a cul-de-sac. Please, this thing's like 2,000 square feet. You can't call a 2,000 square foot home an estate. Also, would you look at the exterior? I don't know if the homeowners association would allow for this. I walk past a couple of gargoyles guarding the front door and look around for a doorbell. Did you guys ever see that cartoon show with gargoyles? Good times. I pull the large, ornately carved bat's head door knocker back and hollow sound echoes throughout the house as I strike it against the door. I wait several moments before the door slowly creaks open. It's a little creepy, but I enter the home and take a few steps into the foyer, noting the oil portraits of who I assume are dead relatives hanging on the wall. It's got that family tree thing like Sirius Black. As I'm admiring them, the front door slams shut behind me. Hello? Silence. An oil lamp in the corner flickers dimly, casting ominous shadows against the wall. Why do I feel like all the people in these paintings are staring straight at me? Why is it so cold in here? Where's Damien? Karate, pleasure to have you in my home. I look up and see Damien standing at the top of a majestic staircase with a walking candle holder. A candelabra? You try to use these fancy words and you don't use candelabra? What's with the door slamming shut?
Oh.
Sorry, there was a draft. And the door creaking open when I knocked?
Oh.
I accidentally left the door unlocked. And the creepy oil paintings? Well, that's rude. That's a rude thing to say. I like oil paintings, dick. Right. Right. Fuck me, right?
Ugh.
I like oil paintings. Let me show you around. Okay. Damien leads me around his house, showcasing his parlor, sitting room, auxiliary sitting room, and the parlor again for some reason. This is one of the older homes on the block, yes, but nowhere near as old as the architecture might suggest. Through extensive renovations, I've been able to craft a residence that is both historically accurate to the Victorian period and equipped with the amenities of any modern dwelling. We walk past a door covered in bumper stickers, caution tape, and a black parade poster. Did they listen to My Chemical Romance in the Victorian era? That's my son's room. You know how the rebellious teenage years are. Onward, onward, there's more to see. We reach a door at the end of the hall that Damien opens with a flourish. And this is the library. Sunlight streams in from floor to ceiling, arched windows. The walls are lined with packed bookshelves, and even more books are scattered over the period-appropriate furniture. David is clearly really proud of this room. You know, in the Victorian era, there was some controversy surrounding reading. Many people thought the more tawdry novels would encourage youths into a life of crime and would cause too much of a distraction from work and school. I pull out a book at random and examine the worn cover. Man, that must have been just the most boring news articles. Like, books! Bad for your children? Making your children violent? Naruto struggled against the chains that Sasuke had bound him with. Shirtless and out of breath, he looked up at Sasuke. Sasuke smoothed a button in his ninja pants. Oh! Lucian likes Naruto fanfic.
What?
Okay, I think that's enough! Damien snaps the book shut and puts it back onto the shelf. That's a rare book from my private collection. How about we see more of that Naruto fanfic? And maybe some Boruto fanfic. I walk to the window and am greeted by a beautiful view of Damien's backyard. If you know what I mean. It showcases a beautiful view of the rest of the cul-de-sac, if you know what I mean. I can see Craig on his lawn. He's doing push-ups with his daughters on his back. Damn. He sees me and waves happily, doing push-ups with one hand now. Did you know that Victorians spent at least 20 hours a week gazing longingly out of full-length windows? Really? No, but Victorians did appreciate telling a good joke. I walk up to the glass display of pinned bugs in the wall. It's pretty impressive. Nice bugs. I pinned them all myself. Maybe I could show you how sometime. I'm concerned I'd stick the pin right through my finger. Ah, the pinner's gambit. Is that a thing? No. Please, will you join me for tea? I follow Damien to his sitting room where finger foods have already been set out upon a beautiful tiered silver tray. I take a seat on one of the high back chairs as Damien pours and serves me some tea. Can't believe we're having a high tea. I never thought I'd get to do this. Damien smiles to himself. What? It's a common misconception that high tea refers to the wealth or class of the people enjoying it, when in fact the high refers to both the later time of day, that the working class had to enjoy tea, and the height of the tables on which they're served. Oh. My dear friend, we're currently enjoying afternoon tea. That's informative. Damien takes a seat next to me and serves me a tiny sandwich. Plenty, actually. We mostly communicate online on goth forums. You wouldn't believe the Victorian-era drama that those people get into. So-and-so wore this undercoat over this period inappropriate petticoat. Someone else doesn't understand the difference between a bodice? Didn't I struggle on this word earlier in a different video? What is this? And what is the correct pronunciation? A part of a woman's dress, excluding sleeves, that is above the waist. The torso? The torso of the shirt is called... Okay. What does it look like in images? Everyone, let's go look on Google Images. Oh, it's like that part. It's like the corset part. Ah, gotcha. Okay, I see. People will get angry if you wear a mismatched color of black, Karate. I'm not kidding. This is an actual thing that people get angry about. And don't even get me started on substyles. Don't start. He catches himself before he gets too heated. It's mostly frill-based discourse. What got you so interested in goth stuff? Well, when I was a young boy, my father... Did he take you into the city? Sorry? Did you guys see a marching band? I don't understand. You're serious? But it's, you know, the song. Amanda made me listen to it. I'd love to see a marching band. Nevertheless, I've always had a love for art, history, and fashion. What started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermied animals grew into sort of an obsession. It's a privilege to be able to appreciate the lives and cultures of those who came before us, I think. Why not go all the way? I like not dying when I catch a cold. He takes a sip of tea. I can acknowledge that there were many very terrible things about the Victorian era, and try to live a life that strictly aligns with those ideals would be admittedly horrid. But I think it takes a critical mind to truly appreciate something to the fullest, to be cognizant of its flaws and love it all the same. Holy smokes, it's Thursday today! Wow, the week went by fast. I got distracted as I was reading. I was like, is it Thursday today? Tell me, Karate, do you have any hobbies? Oh man, I do, but I don't know if I care about anything the way you care about this stuff. Well, I'd love to hear about your interests. Hearing someone talk about things they're passionate about is intriguing, and quite honestly, rather attractive. Please do tell me about your hobbies. Sounds sophisticated. The, written word fascinates me. We spend so much time using words, you know, and I think people would appreciate them more if they had to unjumble them. Click, click. It's poetic. So you're a writer. In a sense. And life is my paper. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches. Come, I have one more thing to show you. Damien takes me around the back of his home where a variety of flowers flourish in beautifully landscaped rows. A small stone path weaves through it and butterflies flit lazily through the air. My garden. It's beautiful. Thank you. I see they put some real detail in this. Yeah. Victorians took flowers and floral arrangements very seriously, much like this artist. Yeah. You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relationships in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send secret messages to each other. Each flower and plant is symbolic of different feelings. Even more interesting is that one flower could mean different things depending on the other plants it was paired with. One had to be extremely careful, as even the style in which the ribbon was tied around the bouquet affected the message. Damien leans down and plucks a gorgeous bright orange off of a vine. Gorgeous! Lilium Bulfarium! Ha! Magic spell. The orange lily. What do you think this one means? My loins are ablaze! Fiery loins! The orange lily is actually symbolic of pure hatred. Well, and that's precisely why floral arrangement is so challenging. What's your favorite type of flower? They smell really good. And then you can eat the tiniest little drop of nectar when you pull the stem out. I'll have to remember that when I put together a bouquet for you. Nobody's ever given me a bouquet before. I follow Damien down the footpath and admire more of these beautiful flowers. Suddenly a phone rings. Will you excuse me? I must take this. He pulls a cell phone out of his pocket. I'm a little surprised it's not a rotary phone. Go for it. Damien smiles and walks back to the house. I take a deep breath and enjoy the heavily perfumed air. What a lovely yard. This makes me wish I had put a little more effort into that garden Amanda and I tried to start one time. Our watermelons grew to the size of cherry tomatoes, then immediately died. Hey, a gargoyle. Oh no! I knocked over the gargoyle, I say loudly.
Fix that garg.
Oh yeah, those gargs, you know, frosty garg. Oh, it's got like a rotation thing. I see. Well, that's definitely not right. What the heck? Isn't that the head? Wait, can you also rotate it? Oh. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Why are they all upside down? Easy. That was a close one. Here comes Damien. He looks upset. Wow, that was loud. Goodness. My sincerest apologies to have kept you waiting. There's an urgent matter that I must attend to, so I'm afraid I must take my leave. No problemo, amigo. Everything all right? Damien worries the hem of his coat with his fingers and looks away. Everything's perfectly fine, but it's Lucien. He appears to have, well, the poops. His teacher needs me to come to school, post haste. You need help? Oh no, you don't have to. Let me come with you. Us dads gotta stick together. Wow, this is a private matter. Let's not do that. This is one of Lucien's more elaborate stunts. I would greatly treasure having another parent by my side. Let's go! Ah, yes, Hugo's wonderful voice clips. Damien and I walk into the school and are immediately greeted by an anxious-looking Hugo. Damien, you're here in record time. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear friend. Whatever it is, it doesn't seem like this is Hugo and Damien's first time to the My Kids Are in Trouble rodeo. What is it this time?
Oh.
Damien, you have to see to believe. Damien and I fall into step behind Hugo, who leads us through the busy corridors of the school. We pass by several classes in session, and I vaguely wonder if Amanda's around. Hugo eventually ushers us into the small boiler room with a flight of rickety stairs leading down into darkness. Watch your step. I can hear faint voices drifting up from the basement, and they don't sound happy. As I'm led into the depths of the school, I recall the antics I got into as an angsty middle schooler. At least I had enough sense to stay out of the creepy basements. We find another teacher in a boiler room tucked away in the back of the basement. With him are Lucien and Ernest, Hugo's son. Lucien has a bloody nose. Thanks for coming. I can't make heads or tails of this. I look around the scene of the crime and see a bunch of bricks and some masonry tools scattered around. What happened here? Ernest punched me! Lucien tried to kill me!
Oh my.
The room falls silent. I wasn't trying to kill you, Dumas! I was just trying to build a brick wall around you and see what would happen. You promised me there was wine down here. You tricked me. Whoa, wait a second. Lucio, did you try to cask of Amontillado, Ernest? I'm neither confirming nor denying that. I turned to Damien and whispered to him. What's cask of Amontillado? It's a classic Edgar Allan Poe short story where a man gets his enemy drunk, lures him down to his cellar with the promises of wine of a fine vintage, then buries him alive behind a brick wall. It's a lovely story. So wait, Lucien, you tried to do that to him? I was curious to see how it would turn out. Okay, so 1 second you don't admit to it, and now you do. Gotcha, bitch. I wasn't actually going to leave him there. What was the thought process here? That Ernest was just going to sit still while you slowly built a tomb around him? Well, it worked for like 20 minutes because he's an idiot. But then he realized that I'd lied about the wine. And you were cackling maniacally. Please, Ernest doesn't know how to use maniacally. That sort of tipped me off. He'd probably be like, you would have got me, but you laughed so loudly. Like that's what he would say. Ernest, 20 minutes? Yeah.
What?
It took you 20 minutes? Son, we just did an entire 2-week unit on the cask of I don't want to say it. And it took you 20 minutes to realize Lucien was leading you into an elaborate ruse? Did you even read the story? I read the first 5 pages and then I read a review of the movie.
Whoa.
It's only 5 pages long, and there is no movie. Yeah, you're right. I paid Lucien to read it for me. Actually, he didn't even pay me, so when you think about it, this was me teaching him a lesson. Damien and Hugo both had their heads in their hands. You guys are always telling me to engage in the literature, and I did. I don't see a problem here. Alright, I'm filing this under what the hell. Don't do whatever that was again. You two are both suspended for a week. Ernest and Lucien high five. The teacher starts to stomp up the stairs. Hugo, I'll cover your class. Take your son home. Mr. Bloodmarch, you too. Thank you for your mediation. We all head up the stairs and out of the school in tense silence. Lucien, Damon, and I all pile into my car and begin the drive home. The least he could do is clean his car. It's disgusting. And why is there a lay there? I don't know why there's a lay there. I'm not going to therapy again. I know, it's entirely up to you whether or not you want to go. Up to him! But I care about you, and I can see that you're struggling, so if you do decide that you'd like to speak to a professional about your feelings, we can do that too. Maybe you can spend this next week looking for a summer job, I know how much you want your own car. Can't believe Damien's keeping his cool, I'm impressed. He's always cool as a cucumber. Thanks for not freaking out too hard. I love you, son. Lucien continues staring out of the window. Love you too. We spend the rest of the drive in relative silence. The moment we pull into the driveway, Lucien hops out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside. I didn't expect to have that conversation in front of you. He and I have a lot we need to work out. It's alright, and all things considered, Lucien's bricklaying was pretty good. So there's your silver lining. There is that, yes. You were a lot more diplomatic with him than I would have been. I just want what's best for him, and I don't think yelling at him would do either of us any favors. It rarely does. You're a good dad. See you around soon? It would be my honor and my pleasure. Damien bows with a flourish. Classy. I come home to find Amanda curled up on the couch with a blanket watching TV. I plop down next to her. Yo. Watchin'! Tiny House Hunting Brothers, Extreme Edition. I hate this show. The couple on screen bickers back and forth while standing in an extremely small house made out of recycled bottles. The Tiny House Hunting Brothers watch them with bemused expressions, both of their heads touching the low ceiling. I told you I wanted a 2-bed, 2-bath, shabby chic cottage. This house doesn't even have a bathroom. But honey, the outside is only 20 yards away. It's not that bad. I'm not pooping outside, Greg. Why don't they just get a regular-sized house? I don't know. How'd afternoon tea go? It got strange. We had to go to the school to pick up Lucien since he tried to... He lured Ernest down the cellar with the promise of fine vintage and then tried to brick him into the wall, right? How'd you know? Has everyone read this story except for me? Yeah. Lucien livestreamed the entire thing. This entire day is beyond me. But otherwise, it was a fun day. That Damien guy's a character, but he's really good company. And a surprisingly diplomatic dad. I dig his style. You know what? Me too. A at best.
That was a phenomenal date.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Well, it's been 25 minutes. How many more? Okay, so if we do one video per... Okay, so it'll be 1, 2... 14... 16? 16 videos? I'm gonna start doubling up or something, because that's a lot. Well, in any case, stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!